We're hanging out trackside down here at the pump track. Round of 8 is just about ready to get underway. We might as well take this opportunity to get a closer look at this thing.
Yeah, we got a couple of new features on this pump track, different from when we were here just a few short months ago. Why don't you run us through this start, Cam?
Well, one of the things we know and love about this course, with it being pump track, that means it's chainless. You got to generate that speed out of the start somehow. This is one of the tallest start towers we have on tour, and that's why this is one of the fastest courses we have on tour.
Yeah, and one of the most unique parts about the start here at Crankworx pump track events is no chain. We've seen a couple of different techniques, and this will actually be the first time that we have a whole shot beam, and we're gonna actually be able to tell which technique and who's starting the fastest. And that momentum's gonna get carried right into the most technical track we've seen. What's making this pump track technical? That's how deep these are. You've seen these riders come through and having a hard time catching the backside. That's a testament to how deep these jumps are. We're gonna see a lot of back tire rolling and a lot of action all night long.
So take a look, that's what I'm talking about right here, the stall wall. This is one of my favorite parts of the track from last year. One stuntman tried to gap all the way to the roller, and the course designers took note. They went, all right, this year, 2023, let's pull that roller landing back so more people can do the stunt of gapping from the stall wall to that landing. But we're also seeing a ton of scrubs as well. So there's way more strategy coming into this final straightaway than what we saw just 4 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, every split second is going to count, and having these options at the end, having the decision maker at the beginning and the end, we're really going to see how versatile these riders' styles are and how it's going to translate to time on the track.
Well, round of 8 for the women and round of 8 for the men is about ready to get started. Let's do this.
Crankworx is it's a crazy thing to be involved in.
It's hectic, but you're in it and you're just like loving it.
A reunion of friends and people in different cultures.
All these cool different locations, all these different tracks. There's always so much stuff going on.
People are just stoked on biking, and they're just stoked to be here.
Hearing so much energy around. We live for that.
For the love of competition, playing my position, fuck your man's kicker. Ball up position, he shooting air balls, and jumping with missing. They was missing from the ground, but the races got him tripping.
Please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened.
For the love of competition, yeah.
Thank you and enjoy your flight.
Yeah, what's my competition?
Well, I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun. Crankworx Rotorua Pump Track Challenge presented by Torpedo 7. We're going to be catching up with the action. Round of 8 for the women, round of 8 for the men. We're kicking off the 2023 season. Obviously, we had the Tanifa downhill this past Sunday. That was spectacular, and we have beautiful weather on hand for the entire festival. What do you know? It's like we're getting rewarded for so many years hanging out in the rain, wind delays, etc. We got nice conditions all week right now, and we're going to take full advantage.
Absolutely, Cam. Weather's on point. We've got a beautiful view out here from this pump track. Let's take a look at the brackets. Who's your pick coming into this round of 8?
I mean, we got Caroline Buchanan on the list right here. She was so dominant in the 2022 season, only off the top step of the podium one time. But we do have the person who knocked her off of that top step in the competition here today. She didn't do the whole series last year. Her name is Kealani Hines. She was the number 5 qualifier. We'll see her going up against Martha Gill. So look for them in this battle, but you got to look at that collision course. The number 2 qualifier, Jenna Hastings, down there at the bottom of the list, and Shania Rawson, the number 1 qualifier. Will we see them meet up in the final? Only time will tell.
Yeah, and going back to that new timing beam, we're actually going to be able to see who's getting the whole shot. We got a beam right there on that first obstacle after the row-in. So one of the things we've had with the chainless starts is a couple of different start techniques. We've seen people locking the brakes and sort of thrusting out of it. We've seen people trying to pump out of it. So we're actually going to be able to see who's getting these whole shots and who's got the fast pump to catch up.
That's fun. We always have these theories based on what we can see on our screen as to who's getting better starts, but we're going to really be able to quantify that now with those whole shot timers. Well, the first heat's loaded up in the gate. Let's get right down to business. Shania Rawson, your number 1 qualifier, going up against Danny Johnson out of America, your number 8 qualifier.
So the gate drops down. We see Shania Rawson gets that slight advantage there on that start. You see the green. She's got an advantage coming around, looking really smooth on this first one. Over the stall wall, she's going to scrub it, keep it low, and pump all the way through to the finish. with a .346 advantage.
Shania Rawson backing up that #1 qualifying result here. She will have the advantage going into the next round. Of course, the way it works here in this head-to-head racing format of pump track, we'll get them back on course, switch sides, and the rider with the fastest combined time will move in to the round of 4. Next heat, loading up into the gate, fast pace here. Keilani Hines back in action on the World Tour. Really great to see her here. The only one who could stop Caroline Buchanan last season. She's going to be going up against Martha Gill.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. The #5 qualifier versus the #13 qualifier. Martha with the opportunity to make an upset here. Let's see who gets the start. Looks like Martha gets just a slight advantage there on the start. But can Keilani pump her way back to the lead?
Oh,
here she is with a slight advantage already, heading towards the stall wall. Pumps through with a super clean run, getting that advantage on Martha.
You watch any Supercross and the commentators ask, oh, what's the key to the race? Everybody says, oh, you want to get a good start. Well, we had an example right there where Keilani was able to make up for it. She came out of that back berm first and really carried that momentum through the final straightaway.
Yeah, Keilani's been doing these races in BMX for a long time. She's no stranger to pumping the backsides of those obstacles to get the most momentum she can possibly get.
Ooh, this is good stuff right here. The unstoppable force, the 2022 Queen of Crankworx, reigning champion. You see it right there on her number plate, Caroline Buchanan. She qualified 3rd today. And look at this list of accolades from last season. Insane, Alan.
Yeah, super consistent when it comes to the pump track. Not only the queen of the pump track, but also the queen of all of Crankworx. And this is really her foundation for the season here. You know, she did compete in the downhill. She did quite well. I'm really looking forward to seeing how she comes through this. She won the air downhill, so she's really on a roll already. 3rd place qualifier. I'm looking to see her get all the way to the final tonight.
Caroline already off to a good start here, this first stop of this year's tour. She's got to get past Megan Williams.
Absolutely, gate drops down. Caroline with a solid snap. Let's see who got it. Caroline with a slight advantage coming around the back turn. Looks like she's carried that start advantage all the way through to the finish. Good backside on the stall wall. Looked like Caroline went a little bit far and lost a little bit of pump there. Only .291 advantage for Caroline. Certainly something that can be made up in this next round.
Take a look back here. I mean, this is the discipline that's all about precision, right? This is such a quick race. It's a sprint. If you can even call a race with no chains a sprint. But isn't it so important where you put that bike?
Absolutely. The fast twitch muscles are going to be coming into play here. Being able to really flex and put all of that pressure and weight into the backside of the jumps. With them being as deep as they are, it's going to be, you know, a little bit tougher tonight. But, you know, Caroline coming through this first round, shaking out the cobwebs. I think she's gonna be looking good all night.
Well, look at this. We got Jenna Hastings loading up into the gate. We caught up with her earlier.
I try and focus on myself and pump, but you know, you're side by side. If you put your hand out, you can touch them. So you kind of like sometimes, especially here when you come around and coming into the back straight, you're actually facing each other. It's hard not to look up and be like, oh, where are they, kind of thing. But for the most part, focus on what you're doing. And you know, if they're in front of you, you can obviously see them, and you just got to pump harder. And if they're behind you, you just go for it and hope they don't pass you.
She knows how to go for it. Jenna Hastings, wild character. If you were watching the Tanifa downhill earlier last Sunday, you saw her sending that big 60-foot double. Here we go, Jessie Smith and Jenna Hastings.
Yeah, Jenna Hastings really highlighting the excitement of head-to-head competition. It's not only for us. They're also excited after being able to see where you are against your competitor. Jenna popping out with a slight advantage on the start. The fastest start we've seen, but look at Jessie Smith come down the back straight and put the power on.
Jessie Smith, the 2019 Junior Women's BMX World Champion, grabbing a bigger bike and throwing down smoke in time.
You can see Jenna shaking her head a little bit there. I'm not sure if she missed her pump on something. She did get that hole shot, but that shows you it ain't over till it's over out here in the Rotorua pump track. The hole shot does not win you the race here on this track tonight.
Remember last year we were chilling on the injury?
So we're going to move things over. Well, first let's take a look at the brackets from the women right here. You see that green L right there, that's the leader, indicating that they have the advantage going into the second run of these quarterfinals, AKA the round of 8. Rawson over Johnson, Hines over Gill, Buchanan over Williams, and Smith over Hastings. Well, we're gonna roll things over to the men's category right now. Round of 8 coming up. Don't know what pump track is? Well, it's easy. Head-to-head racing without a chain. Pure power and top technique. Generating speed from nothing, the best 32 men and 16 women are put to the test in a traditional bracket challenge. 2 races per round means to reach the final, endurance is key. One mistake could mean the end. And remember, you can't pedal your way back. I mean, that's the instinct. Let's go back to 2015, when the love story began.
It's our first stop ever that we've been in Rotorua, New Zealand with Crankworx.
In 2017, spirits were high as local boy Keegan Wright won his first ever Crankworx gold medal.
Keegan Wright, the local boy, wins the gold medal out here in the Pump Track Challenge.
That same year, Caroline Buchanan surprised the current queen Jill Kintner, proving her BMX background can make the difference in this competition. The final of 2020 brought us a battle of the clones, starring teammates Tommy Zula and Colin Hudson. Zula would take one of the closest ever gold medal wins by only 100th of a second.
0.01.
Last year saw a move back to the original location, but with a brand new course. 4 tall berms, 7 rollers, and a big stall wall spine on the last straight did not trouble Niels Bensink and Caroline Buchanan. Only 1 second separating the top times from the men and the women. Pump track, Rotorua. No chain, no problem. Well, here we go. Time for round of 8 action in the men's category. Always a great spot to have this pump track challenge. It's like an amphitheater down there for the crowd. Let's take a look back at a couple different ways of riding this stall wall spine, Alan.
Yeah, this is one of the things I love the most about this track. You see there, Mick Hanna perfecting the jump, and then the best to do it on the pump track on the men. You see Baz there with the ultimate Bubba scrub. Being able to make it happen, no breaks into it, getting that backside coming all the way through the finish line. It's hard to say what's faster.
Yeah, I mean, let's just take a look at round of 16 highlights and see what looked faster. Here's Mick Hanna going up against Baz. The two that we saw in that piece right there, one of them likes to jump, one of them likes to scrub. What looks faster?
Yeah, here they come down side by side. Looked like a slight advantage there for Baz as he was coming in. I don't know, they might have done it perfectly even. Let's see here on the second round together.
I think what it is, you know, play toward your strengths. When done right, either of these strategies can get you across that finish line first. Baz, so smooth, but Mick Hanna always the showman. Bas van Steenbergen advancing out of the round of 16. We'll see him in the round of 8. Next up, Kaya Hearn went against Niels Bensink, the #1 qualifier.
Yeah, you might notice something a little familiar there on track. That's the World Championship jersey. That's our newly crowned world champion. The first time we've seen this out on a pump track event.
So Niels Bensink wearing those rainbow stripes all the way into the round of 8. We'll have him coming up here in our broadcast, AKA the big show. Bensink against Jackson Frew, Jace Cunning, and Daniel Butterworth. The local boy, Tehoto Ariki Penne, going up against Sam Blankensop, fellow Kiwis there. And then Jacob Jewett will go up against the #2 qualifier, the man we saw in that highlight package there with the scrub, Bas van Steenbergen, the reigning king of Crankworx.
At this point, you know, with the round of 8 and the men, all the riders are so fast and so competitive, it's really still anybody's game.
Here we go. Niels Bensink, as you mentioned, flying those rainbow stripes there. The winner of the UCI Pump Track World Championships. He's going to be going up against Jackson Frew. But you know what? He's a contender. He's had his ups, he's had his downs, but you can never count him out.
Yeah, he's the defending champ here in Rotorua. He took the title on the pump track last year. Let's see if he can repeat. He's looking good so far, making it through that round of 32 and 16 with no problems and sitting on that fastest qualifying time.
Be going up against Jackson Frew in run 1 of this round of 8 matchup. Jackson Frew last season definitely solidifying himself as a contender for the King of Crankworx overall.
Yeah, Jackson really solidifying himself as a king contender for Crankworx and really specializing in it. A very even start, only 0.09 splitting them, with the advantage going to Bensink. Coming around that final turn, let's see what method he takes. Nice little stay low, gets all that backside and pump through the finish line.
So Bensink puts 0.2 on Jackson Frew. We'll get them back up to the top of the course. Let's take a look back here.
You can see him thrusting his hips out of the gate, but without the pedal power, it does look a little bit off. It's something we don't normally see with these riders, but at the pump track here in Crankworx, we level out everything, and taking off that chain absolutely leaves it to the pump and the technique.
That's what's so unique about this event. I mean, gate starts without a chain. You see some weirdness going down. We've nicknamed all these different starting techniques over the years. But Niels Bensink appears to have it down to a science. He's your #1 qualifier today. He's got this 0.2 advantage over Jackson Frew. Now Jackson deciding to double, staying low while doubling. That's got to be fast.
Yeah, both techniques tonight, the track's running super, super fast. Last year, we saw it being quite wet, and this year everything is soil tacked down, packed to concrete status, and these riders are able to generate so much velocity off of each one of these obstacles. It's going to be they're only going to get faster, and I'm pretty sure that last year's fast time is going to get beat.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about that. Those fast times are up for grabs right now. For the men, it was 12.944. For the women, it was 13.6. We got a similar track, so it'll be interesting to see. Here's a look at the tires you're going to see on a pump track.
Yeah, 80 PSI, that might not be something you're used to seeing on a mountain bike, but these riders are riding DJ or pump track style bikes. The more PSI you have in your tires, a little bit less grip, but the more pump you get. So really finding that balance. Each one of these riders probably has a different sweet spot for that, but it's really that balance of traction and being able to have that hard foundation to really pump on.
Something like that Max's DTH we just saw there on screen. No knobbies, just some holes in there. All that power to the ground.
#5 and #4 qualifiers right here. This should be really close. 0.079 advantage on the start to Daniel. Not a whole lot in it. Coming around this back turn. Look, keeping it clean over the stall wall. Jace coming through with the lead.
What was that?
Well, Alan, let's look back at this manual through the rollers.
Yeah, here he comes out of the berm, and you see that back tire pumping. So really what's creating that reason for needing to do that is you can get through a section much faster on one wheel than you can two. But you can pump more. You can generate more velocity with pumping on two tires, but because the technicality of this track and how deep it is between obstacles, that rear wheel manual is going to be much, much faster in those situations.
I mean, there's a max speed to be able to keep both tires on the ground through some steep and deep rollers like that, isn't there? All right, we got Chihoto Ariki Penne loading up into the gate right now. He was the overall winner of the Crankworx Summer Series this year. Just took place over the last couple weeks. The Rotorua local, so great to see him find so much success on a mountain bike right here. Such a character as well. And definitely a contender for the King of Crankworx overall this 2023 season.
Absolutely. You can see here our third fastest qualifier getting ready to go against Sam Blankensop, our #6 fastest qualifier. Chihoto trying to bring that momentum from the Summer Series into the World Tour. Let's see if he can do it, Cam.
All right, Kiwi versus Kiwi, Chihoto versus Sam Blankensop. Chihoto a bit of an advantage out of that back berm. Smoking.
Yeah, there we see the two different techniques there. Sam doing the jump. Sam actually had the whole shot over Chihoto there, but Chihoto too much power and being able to get that backside on each of those jumps and create that momentum, bringing it into the finish.
Did you hear that? He's peaking at the right time. You hear him telling Blanky, that was probably my best run. He put on the gear here. He's been in just jeans and a t-shirt through the 32s and the 16s.
We're on the live feed, Cam. They're bringing out all the stops. They're gonna kit up, they're gonna gear up, and they're gonna give it their all night long. That's for sure.
Look at this, eyes up.
Yeah, look at the intensity. You see that? You see the back tire kind of come off of that. That's that backside that these riders are chasing.
You lost speed back there. Did you see that?
Yeah, absolutely. They're chasing those backsides to be able to get that speed. That's one of the technical aspects of this. The faster you go, the steeper the backside's going to be, the quicker you're going to have to be on your reaction time to be able to get that backside and pump that.
Tohoto, man, Cam here looking real good out there. I heard you get into that finish crawl and said, I think that was my best run all day. That's good to hear. It sounds like you're peaking at the right time. How's that course feeling for you?
Yeah, it's all good. I think Blinky said that was his best one too, so like just bouncing off each other. But yeah, now the course is running mean. It's cruising along. Hey, it's pretty fun.
Good stuff, Tohoto, man. Great to see you on the bike, nice and healthy and ripping. We just had Jacob Jewett and Bas van Steenbergen. It looks like Jacob had the advantage there based on what we see in the timing and scoring.
Yeah, I missed that one. Let's see how it comes through. Both riders looking a bit gassed. This is only 15 seconds, but these riders are leaving every ounce of energy on the course. It's just an explosion of energy.
All right, let's take a look back because we were in the middle of that interview with Tohoto. This was Jacob Jewett and Bas van Steenbergen. Bas, the number 2 qualifier, Jacob, the number 7 qualifier. And looks like it, man. Looks like Jacob got him here. This is going to be interesting going into run 2 of this round of 8 matchup. Way to go, Jacob, huh?
Look at Bas, though, with the smile. I like that attitude. He's excited for the challenge.
No, he loves it. He loves to be pushed.
Especially against his countrymen.
So it looks like we're going to be back to the women now. But before we do that, let's take a look at who's leading out run number 1 here in the round of 8 for the men.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit what we would expect at the top there. Ben Sink taking the advantage. We got Cunning taking the advantage, which is, you know, a bit of an upset there, 4 and 5. That could really go either way. But you look down there at the bottom, Jewett and Van Steenberg. That's the 7th place qualifier taking the advantage over the 2nd place qualifier. So, you know, Bas is going to have a little bit of ground to make up, but if anybody can do it, it's Bas van Steenberg.
Run it up, tell them nothing, I'm gone. Better off, never lost. Baby, yes, I'm home. Show them all, let them talk. This the game they lost. 101, run it up, tell them nothing, I'm gone. Champagne like a campaign, I want real ones, that's my campaign. Hard work in that mind frame, you can feel it, baby, I'm not the same. In the corner going 3 wheels, that rock star, no cheap thrills. Climbed up a couple steep hills, fell back and had to rebuild. 101, run it up, tell them nothing, I'm gone.
Good.
Never lost, baby, yes, I'm home. Show them all, let them talk. This the game they lost. 101, run it up, tell them nothing, I'm gone. 101, run it up, tell them nothing, I'm gone. Better off, never lost, baby, yes, I'm home. Show them all, let them talk. This the game they lost. 101, run it up, tell them nothing, I'm gone.
Whip off jump running fast this year. Edgar Briel taking the win for the men. Vinnie Armstrong taking the win for the women as we focus our attention back on the women's category here at the Crankworx Rotorua Pump Track Challenge presented by Torpedo 7. Always a great way to kick off festivities here at the main venue at Crankworx Rotorua. We saw that jump running so smooth this year. Way more amplitude out of it now that jump is running fast. And here we go, run number 2 in this matchup in the round of 8 between Danny Johnson, who's 0.34 behind your number 1 qualifier today, Shania Rawson.
Yeah, Shania, our fastest qualifier, you know, just working her way through the brackets. Needs to stay calm, needs to focus. There's no moment where you can lose focus on this track because a rider like Danny Johnson will eat you up if you do. Let's see what they do, Cam.
Well, Shania's start 0.34 ahead of Danny as Danny kind of closes the gap here in the final straightaway.
Yeah, a little more momentum coming through the stall wall, but Shania able to handle it and move on to the round of 4.
Good riding all day there for Danny Johnson, making it into the round of 8. Hope to see her at more stops throughout this 2023 season. That was a really good start there from Shania, wasn't it? No doubt she's the number 1 qualifier today.
A solid start. She's doing her homework. Some of these riders that are getting the good starts, I'm noticing they're locking the rear brake and using that as a way to be able to push off their weight. forward, and they throw their hips forward and let go of the brake at the right time, and they can kind of like mimic a slingshot if you did have a chain.
This star tower is great. The fact that they're loaded up into the gate on a downhill angle means that they can really push against that locked back tire. And they got a lot of pump down that flat bank into the transition. Good stuff.
Yeah, props to Danny. Even though she's getting eliminated, you guys have just seen her do this round, but she's gone through practice. She's gone through the qualifying, the round of 32, the round of 16. So great job there. Here we are getting into this next round.
Yeah, it's a big day to get to this point here in the broadcast round of 8. Keilani Hines is back on tour. She's done it. She's in the round of 8. Let's see what bike she's riding.
Hi, I'm Keilani Hines, and we're here at Crankworx Rotorua with my pump track bike. The tire choice for pump track is usually the Maxxis DTH. I run this because in pump track you don't really need a lot of tread, you just need speed, and these are the fastest rolling tires. And we pump them up really high, so 50 PSI both front and rear.
Well, we'll see Keilani Hines riding that bike going up against Martha Gill right now. Keilani Hines with the advantage of 0.45. Keilani was the number 5 qualifier. Martha Gill is the 13th qualifier. So Martha with a little work to do here, but we know she's been putting in the training time. We've been following her Instagram. She's got the manuals on lock. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, she actually had the hole shot in round 1. Here she goes again with another hole shot on Keilani. A 0.249 advantage. What's it going to be as she comes around? Here comes Martha, and Keilani picks up some of that momentum. This is too close for me to call, Cam.
I think Keilani's going to have it right there. She's going to move forward. Bear in mind, Keilani, what a crazy season last year. She's the only other woman to win a pump track race on the Crankworx World Tour that doesn't have the name Caroline Buchanan. So Keilani, she's eyeing up that top spot again, as she did what she needed to do here to make it out of this round.
Yeah, look how close that is. I mean, a combined split of 0.5, that's only half a second. So these racers are super, super tight.
Well, if anybody knows the secrets of pump track here, it's Caroline Buchanan. We caught up with her earlier about just that.
Secret to pump track, it's really just building that momentum but also maintaining it and not making any mistakes, because you can't pedal to make up that time. So yeah, I think it's more about being really precise and accurate, and the strength and also the timing I really feel from that BMX background. It's a title that never gets dropped, but it is really something, a strength that plays into pump track.
She knows what's up. This is her main discipline. It's no surprise that she has the fastest time of the day for the women, 13.79. And let's take a look at, well, 13.6 was the fastest time just a year ago. So you know she's going to continue to ramp things up as she works her ways through the brackets right now. But she's got to get back past Megan Williams. Caroline has the advantage of just over a quarter a second.
Yeah, that's a super tight split. It's not definite for anybody here as they come around this back turn. Looking pretty even. Here comes Caroline putting the power down, but here comes Megan. Oh, and a slight mistake by Megan right at the finish, allowing Caroline to cross just in front and advancing.
That was back and forth on that final straightaway. That's kind of like what we were talking about the top of the shows. There's more variables in this finish straightaway than there was just 4 months ago.
Yeah, definitely. Megan Williams giving Caroline a run for her money down this back straight, coming back to the finish. You can see she's got the lead right here, and then overjumps just a little bit and misses that backside. And the 9-time New Zealand national BMX champion is going to be eliminated. But if you're being eliminated by the person that has absolutely dominated pump track in the last year or two, you kind of can't feel bad about that, can you?
Yeah, for sure. That's true, but it's still got to hurt. It all came down to that one mistake right there. We talked about scrubbing. We talked about gapping that feature. She kind of found herself stuck in the middle between the two, and that resulted in a big old loss of speed. We're having a good time out here. Look at these guys.
Straight off the ski hill here in Rotorua.
Yes. So Jessie Smith loaded up into the gate against Jenna Hastings. Jessie Smith, sorry, the 2019 Junior Women BMX World Champ. Cool to see fresh faces here on the Crankworx World Tour. Jessie has the advantage over Jenna. Will it be a Cinderella story?
Here they come down the back corner. Mountain bike world champ versus BMX world champ. What's it gonna be? It looks like Jenna is gonna take it for the mountain bike crew. Jessie, you can hear a little bit of frustration, but having a blast out here in front of her hometown crowd.
Coming back.
It's all fun and games out here for these riders. Loving it. Let's see this start out of Jenna. You see that thrust and getting the backside. That hop in is key. If you hang up that back tire even a millimeter, that's going to slow down your momentum. And really, that's building the foundation for your entire run. And you're going to build speed throughout the entire way through this course from that start. So if you have a bad start, you are going to have a hard time making that up. Jenna looking really good coming around the back turn with that slight advantage and able to keep it smooth, get that backside, and bring it all the way home.
Well, Jenna Hastings rolling into the round of 4. If you're watching here on the Red Bull Bike YouTube channel, make sure to comment. We're reading all your comments right here. We got username Malia saying, hey, what do you have to do to compete in Crankworx Pump Track? Come on out, sign up, and let's do this. We got all kinds of categories. Jenna's, of course, signed up in the pro category. She's rolling to the round of 4. We got her right now. Jenna, what up?
What's up?
Looking good out there. How's things been feeling all day?
I've honestly been feeling pretty good all day until those two right there. And the first one on the left side, I did exactly what I did last year when I pedaled. So bit of flashbacks there, but nah, I just tried to go as hard as I can on the other side. You got this go for it mentality. You got those pedals under your feet. You want to use them. We saw you in the downhill going for that 60-footer. What was that like? Yeah, I think everyone knows how that was for me. That was awesome. You're always going for it, so we look forward to seeing you go for it in the round of 4. Congrats on making it in there. Thank you. Well, look at the brackets right there. I'm so busy reading YouTube comments, I got that wrong. Alan, why don't you fix my mistake there? Yeah, unfortunately, Jenna not quite fast enough to make up that deficit that she had. She's going to be eliminated, unfortunately, but a lot of exciting racing ahead for the rest of the week. We should see a bunch more going on here. So Jessie Smith, the fresh face, making it into the round of 4. She's going to be going up against Caroline Buchanan. That's the fine howdy do, a little introduction into Crankworx World Tour. Yeah, why don't you go up against the queen of Crankworx? So we had air downhill yesterday that wasn't a broadcast, so we might as well catch you up on how things went. Let's take a look back. A little over 24 hours ago here at Skyline Rotorua. Yeah, the Air DH was a super good event. The conditions being probably the best they could possibly be.
Caroline Buchanan and Zick McHanna.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I just won my first ever air downhill. Normally, I think I look back and I've like maybe got like an 8th place, might have been my best ever. So pretty proud of, yeah, the off-season work, putting in that sprint repeatability, the intervals, sprint class with my friends, and I think that really paid off for the fitness here today. It's pretty brutal, like 2.5 minute just sprinting course. So yeah, really happy to kick off one of the first events of the Crankworx World Tour, and happy that they've put Mr. Black and the air downhill back on.
Air DH final was awesome today. Just the conditions were quite wet early in the week, so the course felt a little bit more sticky than it usually does, and just had to kind of maintain my forward momentum and keep grinding away. We're kicking off the 2023 World Tour, and we got people who are way better at math than us. I've been curious how the king and queen standings were looking right now. We had to believe that Mick Hanna was up there somewhere. Take a look where he's sitting. Yeah, he's sitting in the lead right now with the king. He's got the crown on after that win in Air DH and a very, very good top 10 finish there in the downhill. He's looking super good. I really hope we see Mick the rest of the year here on the Crankworx World Tour. I hope so as well. I mean, the next stop is going to be in his homeland of Cairns, Australia, so I'm sure we'll see him there. And here's the queen of Crankworx standings right now, Jenna, at the top of the list.
So Jess Blewett sitting there in second place. She's definitely a rider that a lot of people are talking about. Let's learn some more about Jess Blewett.
Start with a big clap.
My man.
It's going to be Jess Blewett that wins the race here then. In Crankworx Rotorua, the New Zealand national champion.
Yeah, taking the win here at Crankworx Rotorua downhill. It was, yeah, pretty nice start to the season. Just nice stepping stone before a really long World Cup season. It's always nice to take a win, especially on home soil, but not on home soil, so yeah.
Jess, Elliot here. I saw that you rode with Rob. Is that kind of what gave you the inspiration to win? Is kind of hearing him talk to you about lines?
No, I think it was all me actually, yeah. He was not enjoying my lines by the sounds of it.
Hang on!
But...
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh! Oh!
No lines from him.
Are you joking?
We're going to present Jess with a helmet, a Red Bull helmet.
Last time we were here in Rotorua for Crankworx, received my first ever Red Bull helmet from Brooke. I mean, a lot has changed, but a lot hasn't at the same time, so just stay true to myself, Jess. But it's sick, like there's so many cool things that they offer, and yeah, I'm still buzzing about it. Yeah. I've only ever raced one pump track, which was in Queenstown when we did the summer series. So I don't really have any expectations, to be honest. Just gonna rock up, have some fun, and see what happens. Yeah.
Something tells me we're going to be talking about Jess Blewett a whole lot this season.
Yeah, absolutely. She's definitely coming into form, finding her own path here in the Crankworx World Tour.
She made it into the round of 16 in pump track. Unfortunately, not into the round of 8, so we didn't see her here in the broadcast. But we got the plot thickening here in the men's round of 8. We're going into second runs. Bensink's got the advantage over Frew, Cunning over Butterworth, the local boy Tohoto leading out Blanky, and then Jacob Jewett with the .09, 900ths of a second ahead of the reigning king, Bass Van Steenbergen, and also the number 2 qualifier. We're looking forward to seeing run 2 for those gentlemen, but right now, it's all about Bensink.
Yeah, super tight across the entire field, but here we have Bensink and Frew. Bensink's gonna have a slight advantage there. Flexing that world champs jersey. Gotta be hard to start next to that. Our number 1 qualifier, Niels Bensink. Let's see if he can bring it through to the next round.
He did that back break thing for sure right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you see him slingshotting out with a slight advantage with one of the fastest start times I've seen? But look at Frew coming in hard with jump to backside. Let's see what it ends up coming into.
Oh, so close. Just 400ths of a second.
After
run 2.
So close. And you know Bensink was not laying up. Pump track is too tight to just assume, oh, I've got the advantage. I'm going to let this guy go and cruise into the next round.
For sure. I mean, every little thing counted there.
I waited till he went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I really want to look back at this start. Alan, look at that.
Yeah, brakes locked, hips throwing forward right as the gate drops down. We are running on the random start format, so these riders actually don't know exactly when the gate's going to drop. It's a beep that lets them go, but the reaction he had was enough to give him not only the whole shot, but keep just enough in touch with Jackson pushing. You see that jump working for Jackson there. Just not enough to make up the deficit.
You got to give to Jackson Frew, though, man. He really gave Niels Bensink a run for his money there. The man with the rainbow stripes on. Way to go, Jackson Frew. Unfortunately, Jackson out of the competition. Bensink moving into the round of 4 as we line up Jace Cunning and Daniel Butterworth.
Joining the crew here. We turn back. This is your local boy, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Butterworth in the ring.
Yeah, another super good matchup here. Number 4 and number 5 qualifier. They were very, very close all day long. A small advantage going to Butterworth out of the gate. Here they come around the turn and really laying on the power. This track is coming into full form, and did you see that?
There's a lot of aggression there. Oh, Jace Cunning, the man who won pump track in Cairns last year. And of course, he couldn't resist. He needed more Crankworx action. We got him on tour here this year in 2023. He will advance into the round of 4. That was a hard-fought battle right there.
Yeah, absolutely hard-fought battle. Both riders riding absolutely perfect, but Jace just having a little bit more, being able to make up that deficit. Now watch this closely on the stall wall. It's a third option. You see the jump and then drop the back tire and catch all of that pump and the front tire all the way over. So a third method happening on that stall wall, Cam.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, we got Tehoto lining up in the gate against Sam Blankenship. We're going to probably experience a loud crowd on this one. Something tells me.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these guys represent New Zealand, qualifying super fast here in the round of 8. 0.592 of a deficit for Sam to make up, so that's going to be tough against our number 3 qualifier, Tehoto Enrique Penny. Let's see what they can do. Slight advantage to Tehoto.
Oh, Tehoto jumping in.
And here comes Sam. What can he do? He's got the jump. Look at them looking at each other across the line, having a blast out here in front of this Rotorua crowd under the lights.
When is Tehoto not having a blast?
That's a good point. The kid does smile. It's a good thing he's got nice teeth.
It's a good thing he's wearing a full face to keep him that way.
That was good fun for me.
Yeah, you hear that? Good fun.
Good fun.
Blanky out here pushing it. Not a fish out of water. I wouldn't call Blanky a Crankworx specialist, but he's for sure a Crankworx veteran.
I mean, he was a former king at Crankworx. Here's what I want to ask you, Alan. You're paying more attention than me. Tehoto, he's jumping into that satellite dish and the back berm. Is he the only one doing this right here?
Yeah, that's a testament to how technical and deep some of these divots are in between the obstacles. You know, when you see him jump, it's because it's going to slow him down to stay in the middle. Even though he's going to try to get pumped, it's going to be a little faster because he's already got so much momentum. Jumping and back tire rolling is something we're seeing more on this track.
Tehoto's on fire right now. Sam Blankenship hits the showers. Great rides for him today. Impressive making it into the round of 8. But Tehoto, I mean, we heard him say he had his best run the last one. I think this one was even faster. But look who we have in the start gate. The reigning king of Crankworx and your number 2 qualifier, Bas van Steenbergen. Never not practicing, right?
Yeah, this is a testament to the hard work Baz puts in. I think, you know, we see about a third of the work Baz does to become the king, but he's working just as hard off the bike as on the bike. He's his mechanic, he's his nutritionist, he's his travel agent. He does everything, and it's really cool to see him in this event as a specialist and having to make up this gap. This is going to be an exciting run.
Not everything. I'm his masseuse, but you'll learn more about that later. Bas van Steenbergen, the way he has so much control over this bike, he puts every square millimeter of those tires in the absolute optimal place for generating speed. That's why he's the number 2 qualifier. That's why he's the reigning king of Crankworx. And right now he's going to be going up against Jacob Jewett, who has the advantage on him. So he's going to have to push it.
Yeah, this is a big round for both riders. An opportunity for Jacob to really solidify his position. And Baz, he's got 0.09 to make up. There's nothing in it.
All right, Baz backed into a corner and kind of stutters off the start.
He did, yeah. It looked like he stuttered. He didn't get the whole shot. Let's see what happens. Come around. Oh, there's Baz right there. Look at the power coming down. He was not ready to relinquish this event.
Yeah, that's experience right there. I know Jacob Jewett is slaying. I'm so excited to see him all season. Jacob went for that gap in the back that we were talking about Tehoto doing, and I think he lost a little bit of speed doing it. Baz had 900s to make up. Here's a look up close to Jacob Jewett. Now he nailed it. He didn't lose any speed. It's just Baz was on the gas.
Yeah, Cam, what I saw was actually the roller section before the jump into the berm. I saw him actually kind of launch off and miss that backside, and he kind of rode into it. It was a really clean recovery, but he could not do anything against this. Watch Baz right here. This is where he actually lost the whole shot, but right there, you see him get every absolute ounce of that backside doing the back tire roll. And he's just generating so much momentum, there's nothing Jacob could do.
It's the shoulders with Baz, right? Like the shoulders are a few steps ahead of the rest of the body and the bike. It's dictating where he's gonna end up. And it's crazy, he had a pretty bad start on that one.
Yeah, he did, but you know, being the veteran that he is, he knows he's got the skill, he knows what he needs to do. He stayed calm, he didn't panic. He did exactly what he needs to do to make it on to the next round.
Fast, good stuff there, man. But look at that, 900ths of a second back. The young Canadian boy giving you a run for his money. But you fought back and made it out into the round of 4. What was that like? That seemed like you kind of didn't get the best start on that one either.
Yeah, the start, the camera guy was just like moving around in my peripheral a little bit, and I was like getting all, I don't know, all good either way. It was super fun riding against Jake. He's flying, so
he is.
Yeah, stoked on that lap.
That's good stuff. Well, all right, cameraman, let's just back it up a couple steps and let Bass get into that round of 4. Way to go, Bass.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a look at the men's bracket right there. That was crazy. I thought for a second that David of Jacob Jewett was going to knock down the Goliath of King Bass Van Steenbergen, but we see Bass going up against Tohoto. Ooh, look at that. 2 and 3 qualifiers in this next one. That's going to be sick.
Yeah, they're going to be bunching up. They're going to be getting tight. It's nice to see at least one upset come through. That number 4 and number 5 matchup there. Cunning getting the advantage and moving on. Here we are looking at the women. Rawson, our number 1 qualifier, coming through, looking good. Going to be going against Kealani Hines, our number 5 qualifier. And then this matchup with Caroline Buchanan, the number 3 qualifier, but the defending champ here in Rotorua, against the number 7 qualifier, Smith. It's going to be good.
Well, we saw downhill on Sunday with gigantic bikes, long travel. We got pump track right now. Very different bike setup. Let's learn a bit more about how these top-level riders are setting up their bikes for pump track with Torpedo 7.
I'm Cam from Torpedo 7. I'm going to talk a little bit about setting up your bike, your tyre and suspension pressures. Depending on how big a human you are and the type of riding you're going to do, you want to adjust the air pressure in both your tyres and your suspension before you go riding. So in setting our bike up for pump track, we're going to want to run a reasonable amount of pressure in both our tyres and our suspension. Tyres on this bike we've got set up at 60 psi. We're also going to run a little bit higher suspension pressure than we normally would if we were going trail riding. Your suspension will also have a rebound setting. We're going to back that off a little bit, which is going to allow that suspension to respond a little bit more as you're pumping on the track. So with your suspension and tyres properly adjusted for the riding you're going to do, we'll see you out there.
There you have it. Keep those tires hard, keep that bike as simple as possible. And it really depends on who's throwing their leg over it as to how fast it's going to make it around this pump track. Somebody who knows how to do that is Kealani Hines. We're going to see her going up against Shania Rawson right now. Shania was 3rd in the downhill on Sunday. Kealani won the pump track in Innsbruck last year. And this is going to be a good matchup.
Absolutely, the number 1 and number 5 qualifiers going head-to-head here in the round of 4. Let's see who gets the gate. It looks like Rawson gets a little bit of a snap.
I don't know. I thought Kealani had it. She
very, very close.
Yeah, gently rolled down that thing, but it looked like it was efficient.
Coming down. They're side by side. Who's going to get it?
It's going to be close.
What is the split?
Yeah, that's going to be tight. So tight, our clocks are checking their work.
So on the start, it looked like Shania had a 0.05 advantage on the hole shot.
That's why we have that hole shot timer.
Which is not a lot. It'll be interesting to see how that carried through the rest of the way. Look at this, where she hops, and that's where she's getting the momentum right there. That hop in is just using gravity to her benefit and putting all of that momentum into that first transition at the bottom of the start ramp and carrying it all the way through. Watch her tires. You want to catch the backside. Missing it a little bit there, but able to recover and bring it into this back turn and all the way home to the finish for that advantage.
Do you think the Band-Aid's covering a fresh tattoo, or that's evidence of a little mishap in practice?
You know, I think these riders were, during practice, were looking for those advantages, looking for those ways of getting through this technical track, these deep pump track obstacles. And yeah, I saw a few riders on the ground. That might have been her.
Could have been from another event as well. She's going hard, gunning for that Queen of Crankworx overall title. We're still waiting on the times from this run. Oh, it's so close. 1900ths of a second. Shania Rawson ahead of Kealani Hines. That's going to be a really fun one when we get them back to the top and switch sides.
So based on that start time, that hole shot time, Kealani was able to reel her in by a little bit. So this next round between them is going to be super interesting.
Jessie Smith going up against the reigning queen, Caroline Buchanan. We're staring at her tires right there. She's running the Maxxis Icon up front, 70 PSI. That's a good number. Maxxis Icon in the back. Keep it simple, 70 back there as well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, she's got a little bit more knobby on that tire than some of her competitors. She's going to have a power to put more PSI and get more pump. But here she is. First run on the round of 4. Looks like she gets the whole shot by a slight advantage.
Look at Jessie Smith
coming through. Coming around that backside. Caroline got about a bike length. Can she hold on to it over the stall wall?
Wow. So Caroline crosses the finish line first, but it's just 0.3. Jessie Smith has some power. That start was impressive. But Caroline has the full package there, milking all the speed out of this track. I'm digging the overalls. We got people dressed as dinosaurs.
So we're going to take a look back and see. We can see that there's a slight advantage here. And as she comes in, you see this back tire looking. We're going to look at it and see, where did she lose that time? Was it just Caroline that much faster? We're going to look at her tires on the backside of each jump, and she was able to keep her tires on the backside the entire time, but Caroline just has too much power and not quite able to be able to keep up with her, unfortunately. But she was shrugging across the finish line, so maybe she's got some more in the tank.
Yeah, I'd say don't count Jessie out. She's already knocked out a lot of big names to get this far, but hey, check this out. Caroline Buchanan, this last run was the fastest time of the day for the women. Let's see if it's faster than last year's time, which was 13.6, 13.79. Look at that. She's got the top 3 times. Caroline.
But you notice that those times are coming down each round, and that's what you need to do in this competition. It's a build. You know, you don't want to have your fastest run in the round of 8 or the round of 5. It's a build. Each run builds into itself, and Caroline is doing that to perfection right
Evidence
now.
of that. She's the number 3 qualifier, and she's got the 3 fastest times of the day. She's obviously building and intentionally doing so. All right, semifinal men loading up into the gate. We got those rainbow stripes of Niels Bensink, and then the man who won in Cairns last year. He decided he likes this whole Crankworx thing. He's here in Rotorua now. Jace Cunning.
Yeah, both riders with a pretty heavy BMX background. Niels Bensink with the slight advantage out of the gate. Oh, sorry, not out of the gate, but he's able to make it up. He's able to make up that advantage. Jace with the whole shot, but then Niels with the power down to the finish. Number 1 plate on the bike, world champs jersey.
Niels is looking ridiculous.
It's sort of his race to lose at this point, but we are far from done.
We are far from done, that's right. Niels Bensink puts a 0.16 on Jace Cunning. Definitely still within grasp there, but these starts are on point.
Yeah, Bensink out of the gate there looking really strong. Look at his tires catching the backside of these jumps. The backside is the side, you know, he's going down. That's what you want to see. You see him miss it a little bit there, but then right there, it's on the ground the entire time. That's how you're creating momentum. You're pumping those backsides and using gravity to create that forward momentum all the way to the finish line.
It's a swing set.
It's absolutely a swing set.
Okay, question, Alan. You're a big advocate while we're trail riding is don't touch your brakes. They just make you go slower. But Niels' starting technique, if he didn't have the brake, do you think he'd be snapping as hard?
Absolutely not. The brake is key here in the Rotorua pump track. With no chain, that's your only option to really have something to push against out of the gate.
I think that's the only time he touches them the whole run.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, what do we got next? I think we're going to have Tohoto and Bass. That's going to be awesome. 2 and 3 qualifiers. Bass number 2, Tohoto number 3.
So this is where we're going to see
talking about gate starts. We caught up with Bass Van Steenbergen about that earlier. Take a listen.
There's a lot of technique that goes into a good gate start. You want to lead with your shoulders and all that stuff. Obviously you got to have some power as well, so that helps. But I'd say the technique of just like leading with your shoulders is pretty important, and there's a lot more little nuance to it, but I don't want to tell everything.
Yes, stop talking, Bass. Jeez, your competitors are going to watch this. Keep that mouth shut and just ride your bike, my man.
Absolutely.
He's got it figured out.
But was that the right information?
Might be playing mind games. Oh, Tohoto with the fastest start of the day. Let's see if he can do it again. Oh, it's a tight one.
Tehoto with the hole shot again. He's got the advantage. Let's see what Tehoto can do.
Oh, Tehoto!
Did you see that?
Fire! He gapped and scrubbed. Oh man! I mean, it was something hundredths of a second. So Tehoto's got it. We haven't seen it officially on screen right now, but man, he came out guns blazing. Look at this.
Let's see Tehoto start. How did he outstart Baz Van Steenberg? But he carried that momentum all the way through. You see those fast twitch elbows. Look at him making the double tire pump work, scrubbing the stall wall and clearing it. Look at that start. What an amazing technique.
Wow, I mean, they were really tight in qualifying. Tehoto, third place qualifier. Bass, second place qualifier. But, I mean, Bass is always flawless, and Tehoto just beat him at his own game right here. Let's take a look at Bass, because I'm curious if he made a mistake on the stall wall. I was so busy watching Tehoto.
Yeah, Tehoto fully scrubs off the stall wall and able to clear the double. I didn't quite see what Baz did, but I think at that point, Tehoto had the advantage on lock.
I just saw it on this other screen. He did the scrub without gapping, and that was the game changer. Tehoto had enough speed to be able to scrub and gap to that roller, and that's what gave him the edge in that, like, literally final 40 feet of the track. Wow, so a big plot twist here.
Yeah, a bit of a mix-up there on the graphic. We got Keilani Hines back on the gate with Shania Rawson. Shania Rawson, 0.019. That's basically no time. We're going to see a winner-take-all right here, I think.
Huge start there for Shania.
Shania, solid gate out, but let's see if Keilani can bring it back. She's got a slide advantage coming into the stall wall. Gets solid backside all the way to the finish, but isn't enough. 0.0101.
Oh, man.
I think that's going to be enough.
A tenth of a second there. Keilani Hines advances, knocking out the #1 qualifier, Shania Rawson. There we go. We talked about it earlier. Keilani was the only other person not named Caroline Buchanan to win a women's pump track race in the 2022 Crankworx World Tour.
Let's watch this run, Cam. Look at that start to perfection, catching backside on every single obstacle. Eye of the Tiger coming down to this back turn. We have the #5 qualifier unseating the #1 qualifier. That's that build I was talking about.
Oh, it's crazy too. Stop 1 of 4 on the World Tour, and when we get to the final stop, we always look back, and it's moments like this that, you know, you look at the points and you think, oh, that was the difference.
Yeah, looking at them coming down to the back finish here. I don't see any mistakes out of any rider, just both riders on point. Keilani just having just enough extra pump to get her that amount of time she needed to make up that 0.19. Moving on, the #5 qualifier, absolutely upsetting.
Keilani, way to go. That was a great ride right there. I mean, you won Innsbruck last year. It's been a bit since we've seen you. You're on pace. Tell me what's transpired between Innsbruck and now.
Yeah, I missed the last 2 rounds last year, so, you know, 2 rounds feels like a year. Like, it just goes so fast, and the girls are so fast, so I feel like I'm just trying to keep up, and my qualifying wasn't that great, so I'm like super stoked just to be in the final.
For sure. Well, it looks like you've picked up right where you left off. Way to go, and good luck moving forward.
Thank you.
So the big question right now, who will Keilani be going up against? We're about to find out. I like these plot twists. This doesn't always happen in pump track. You know, we kind of hope it does because it keeps us on the edges of our seats. But we got one of those scenarios tonight for sure. Beautiful night out here. Not worrying about rain today, man. We were burning up today. Beautiful weather out here in Rotorua. We got Jessie Smith, 0.33 behind Caroline Buchanan right now. Caroline just needs a smooth ride to make it through.
And this is where things can get dangerous for Caroline. She cannot lay up at all against Jessie. She's going to keep her on her toes. Caroline doing exactly that, getting the hole shot with the slide advantage coming down, but here comes Jessie Smith. Who's going to get it to the line, and what's the gap going to be? 0.008. I can't. I have nothing to describe how small of amount of a gap that is. 0.008.
Well, you know what's cool is Jessie Smith has been ripping all day, and we will see her in the bronze medal matchup. Caroline Buchanan will go up against, this is too good to be true, she'll go up against Keelani Hines, the only person who beat her last season. They'll duke it out again for a gold medal here tonight.
Yeah, still anyone's game between Caroline and Keelani. So awesome to see them meet each other all the way to the final. Look at the effort from both riders, never giving up an ounce. I'm liking that kit. Are those race overalls, Cam?
I like it too. That's what I said earlier. I said I'm digging the overalls. And she's digging that number plate. That's they don't give those out as party favors, those queen number plates.
No, it's good to be queen, isn't it?
This is going to be really good for us and for you at home to watch this final, because we got Keelani Hines and Caroline Buchanan going for the gold medal. We got Shania Rawson and Jessie Smith going for the bronze. And for the men, we still got to figure some stuff out right here. Walk me through where we're sitting at this moment, Alan.
Yeah, we're sitting kind of where you'd expect with Bensink, our #1 qualifier. You know, he's got the advantage going into this next round against Cunning. And Baz van Steenberg, that's where the upset is. Tohoto Enrique Penny is sitting on the precipice of upsetting Baz van Steenberg, sitting third place right now in the overall King of Crankworx, but also the defending King of Crankworx. So you know he's going to leave it all out there on the track tonight.
I like it. I was thinking about leaving, but I'm sticking around because we have such a good show on our hands.
That's probably a good call, Cam. You should definitely stay.
I'm not going anywhere. All right, Niels Bensink, 0.16 ahead of Jace Cunning. Jace Cunning knows what it's like to stand on that top step of the podium. So does Niels Bensink. But only one is going to do it tonight.
Both riders are going to have to be absolutely perfect here. Almost nothing between them. Bensink with a slight advantage out of the gate, getting that hole shot, but what's it going to be coming down the back? Riders are wheel to wheel. Jace with a slight advantage. Who's it going to get it across the line?
Yeah, the dream stays alive for Niels Bensink. He moves into the gold medal round, backing up that promise. It's always a promise you make with that #1 qualifying place. Comes with a lot of pressure. Niels Bensink secures himself a spot in the gold medal matchup. We got Jace Cunning, still an opportunity for a bronze.
Yeah, being the #1 qualifier can be the nail in the coffin or the confidence you need. It's depending on what you do with it, but Niels Bensink seems to be handling the pressure with no problem, checking off rider after rider coming through. You see him actually making up a little bit of time here on the stall wall, getting a little bit extra backside and getting that 0.005 advantage, which is basically nothing.
You can bring Justin's head later.
Yeah. Listening in here, you hear Niels Bensink talking about braking just slightly lighter at some point.
I wonder if that's into the corner, into that really heavy G out back berm there.
But the pressure's on, Cam.
Oh, this is super good. I'm not going anywhere. We got Tohoto with the advantage. We got Bass with some work to do.
The start is going to be so key. Tohoto with the fastest start of the night. Also getting the hole shot in the last round and being able to carry that for that slight advantage.
We've seen Baz come from behind tonight already.
We have, yeah, the power of Baz can never be discounted.
0.67, Bass needs to really find some speed out there. Here we go.
So a nearly identical start from these riders. Tohoto
again.
Baz coming around that last turn. Here we go. The clock.
This is the game changer here, though.
The jump first scrub. Tohoto gaining an advantage.
It's not going to be enough for Baz van Steenberg, and Tohoto Enrique Penne sets this Rotorua crowd ablaze and advances into the gold medal matchup, sending Baz to battle it out for the bronze.
Yeah, that really came down to those different techniques. Tohoto making the jump over the stall wall work for himself. He had a slight advantage, but nearly nothing between them out of the start. And here they go, and you see Baz coming around this back turn with that slight advantage over Tohoto, but Tohoto gets an amazing pump right there out of the turn, and he's able to carry that momentum. You see Baz still ahead, and then Tohoto jumps right here, using that momentum that he had out of that final turn and bringing it all the way across the finish line.
That last camera angle was brilliant for just being able to see Tohoto gain speed by gapping that feature there off the stall wall.
Yeah, in order to scrub like Baz's technique, you have to break slightly. And with Tejodo's, you're keeping it wide open the entire time. You're spending a little more time in the air, but in this case, Tejodo was coming out so fast that he was able to scrub and jump and be able to bring it across the line and eliminate our number 2 qualifier, Baz van Steenberg.
Well, good stuff. The gold medal round is going to be Niels Bensink and Tejodo Ariki Pene. Bronze medal matchup will be against Jace Cunning and a man who's looking to stay on that throne, Baz van Steenberg, and wanting those 3rd place points for the 2023 overall tally. Women, it's going to be Caroline Buchanan going up against the only person who beat her in pump track last year, Keelani Hines. And for the bronze medal matchup, Shania Rawson and Jessie Smith. Jessie Smith, is this going to be another case where we grab her and bring her to the next stop on the World Tour? She definitely looks right at home here in the pump track challenge.
Yeah, I gotta believe these riders know each other. We have the 9-time Kiwi national champ versus the 2019 world champ BMX racers going for bronze, trying to collect some hardware here out in Rotorua. Who's gonna get the whole shot?
Shania is so aggressive in that start.
Both riders nearly identical speeds. Slight advantage coming down to the finish line. These riders having a blast out here in front of this Rotorua crowd, Cam.
Oh, wow.
Just like every bottom of trail banter, you know, they just happen to be racing for prizes and points.
Yeah, you hear them talking. Did you jump? Did you jump the last one? They're surprising themselves with the amount of speed they're coming out of. That's the build that you get in these events. Faster throughout each round, each run through this track.
It's so wild though, time just kind of morphs. We're only talking about 12 to 13 seconds of ride time right here, but so much takes place in such a small little window. You got a lot to talk about in that finish line corral.
Absolutely. So Shania Rawson with that slight advantage in this bronze medal match. One run, but we're gonna swap it. We're gonna switch riders and they're gonna get another chance, so it's not over. And here we go. Our men's bronze medal matchup. Baz van Steenberg looking to pick up where he left off of last season, our current reigning king of Crankworx, going for that hardware.
Jace Cunning looking to knock out reigning king here. There we go, they're off.
Number 5 and number 2 qualifiers. Baz with a slight advantage out of the gate. Nearly identical coming out of that last turn. Scrub versus
oh, and Jace with the advantage.
Yeah, .208, so Baz is gonna have some work cut out for him, and Jace, our number 5 qualifier, looking to continue his upset ways.
All right, we know who has the advantage for the bronze in the men and the women. Take a look back at some replays.
Yeah, you hear Jace talking about how gnarly it is. These riders are on the edge from beginning to end, pushing it with everything they have. They came around this last turn, and Jace had something. Let's see what he's got. Getting that full backside. You see that back tire roll out of that corner? That's a testament to how deep these obstacles are. You can't double pump some of them at the speeds that they're going. You have to back tire roll.
Yep, you hear Mikey Hatterer on site announcing right there, pumping up the crowd for this gold medal matchup, run 1 here. Let's flash it back to Innsbruck last year. The only race that Caroline didn't win when it comes to pump track in 2022. Guess who beat her?
Yeah, Keelani Hines, who she's going up against here. And you see Keelani coming from behind as Caroline had the lead there. One of our longer pump tracks here, and Keelani just able to put a little bit more pressure on her and bring it home for the win.
That's crazy, man. We were talking to Keelani and she said, well, I didn't have the best qualifying or anything, but you know, just kind of take it one step at a time. And she was 5th place qualifier. Now she finds herself in the gold medal matchup against the number 1 qualifier. Or no, Shania was the number 1 qualifier, but the person who won 3 of 4 events last year. But you know what? If anybody has what it takes to grab this gold medal out from under Caroline Buchanan, it's Keelani Hines.
Absolutely. See the Rotorua crowd enjoying the night. Watch the sun go down here.
We got so much more the next couple days too. This is a good spot to be. Here we go, Keelani Hines and Caroline Buchanan, run number 1 of the gold medal matchup here in the Crankworx Rotorua Pump Track Challenge, presented by Torpedo 7.
Our number 5 and number 3 qualifiers, but both riders building here in the gold medal matchup. What's it gonna be? Caroline with a slight advantage out of the gate, but Keelani Hines all the way to the finish.
No way!
All side by side.
I think it's gonna be Keelani. Oh, Caroline gets it by 200ths.
So close.
Oh, I love the fact that we have timing lights because it looked so close. I thought Keelani had it, but when it's 200ths of a second, man, you know what? Our eyeballs are not equipped.
Yeah, nearly no time gap between these riders. Going to make this final run that they go into for the gold medal. All or nothing. Here they come. Down to the finish line. Both riders the same technique, getting all the backside.
Man.
You couldn't even tell there on the replay who got it.
Keelani is straight up getting faster through the night, you know? Like if she can peak in this one last run, she could take this gold medal, and she's only got 300ths of a second to make up. But Caroline just unwavering, as expected, the reigning queen. Let's put a little asterisk next to Caroline's name, noting that she has the advantage. And move things over to the men. We got Niels Bensink on the left side of your screen, lining up against the local boy, Tohoto Riki Pene.
Yeah, such an opportunity for Tohoto here to do it in front of his home country crowd.
Whenever you're ready.
That's the thing about momentum, right? Coming off that.
So hard not to root for Tohoto.
That's the Summer Series. Summer Series win. Going against the Pump Track World Champ here.
All right. Look at that start.
Solid starts all night long. What's he going to do? Another hole shot for Tohoto.
Oh, he landed high into that berm too. Oh, where did Bensink find the...
Where did Bensink get that? Tohoto drawing right next to him with the jump.
Oh, 700s. Yes, please, and thank you. We got a tight race for both the men and the women for the gold medal matchup. Niels Bensink ahead of Tohoto by just 700ths.
That jump line out of Tohoto, he was able to gain maybe 0.5 out of that. He was quite a ways back. So if he can stay in front of Niels out of that back turn and his skill that Tohoto has over that stall wall, I think that's possible.
I think Niels is ridiculous out of the back berm. I think Tohoto's ridiculous into it. And it's going to come down to the stall wall, isn't it?
Absolutely. 2 different techniques in this gold medal matchup. Almost nothing between them.
All right, this is going to be really cool to see what Niels does here on the stall wall. We know what Tohoto's doing. He's scrubbing and gapping. Wow, he stays all the way down.
He got all the backside on that one.
And he doesn't even go to manual on the backside of the stall wall as well. Here we go.
Look at that. Look at Enrique pull up right next to him, gets half a bike length.
Yeah, that's faster. Tohoto's faster right there. If Tohoto can just stick with him enough, I think he can gap him right after the stall wall. Yeah, look at that. That's crazy. All right, Tohoto may be behind going into this final run, but he has what it takes to really do it because he's got the 2 fastest times of the day. 12.4 is the fastest time. Let's compare that to last year's 12.9, which was the fastest. So yeah, we're smoking here today, to say the least.
Yeah, we're getting faster. We're beating last year's times. We're getting faster as the night goes on. It's just one of those nights, and it's setting up perfect. You know, the fastest runs we're going to see are going to be the final runs.
I dig it. I dig it. What do we got here? What do we got? We got Shania Rawson going up against Jessie Smith. Yep. Kiwi versus Kiwi. The crowd's going to be happy. Who's going to take it? Shania has the advantage. Jessie Smith, the junior BMX world champ from 2019, just 0.17 back behind the #1 qualifier, Shania Rawson. Moments away from gate drop.
Yeah, to put that into perspective, 0.173 is about a bike length, so really nothing in between these riders.
Shania with a snap.
Shania with a slight advantage there. But with the power out of the back turn.
did Jessie go?
She's got all
she's going to do it. I think she's going to do it. She does it. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Jessie Smith grabs the bronze medal coming from behind. Knocking out that #1 qualifier. Way to go, Jessie Smith.
Yeah, Jessie's pumped on being stoked right now. Heck of a run right there. You can see the intensity in her eyes coming around that last turn. You see her hopping in there, getting that start. Both riders with excellent starts, nearly nothing between them. And it was coming out of this back turn where it really, where it really came on.
Good eyeballs.
Look at that intensity. You can tell every ounce of energy is going straight through the body, into those clip shoes, into the pedals, getting all of that momentum. And right here, watch this. She's gonna come out, and this is where she really turned it on.
This is like the perfect tune for watching her just come from behind.
It's Crankworx. You're gonna pump it as hard as you have ever pumped in your entire life and point straight towards the finish line. That's exactly what she did. And she was able to make up that deficit and walk away with some hardware.
Jessie, what's up? Coming from behind with all the pressure on. What's up? What was that like?
Bro, honestly, I'm just stoked to be back on a bike, stoked to be out here in Rotorua, and honestly just happy to be riding and happy to be having fun, so stoked as.
What a show. I mean, you're so accomplished on the BMX bike. We just see you grabbing a podium here, bronze medal in the pump track. Are we going to be able to see you competing in some more events at the festival this week?
No, so just doing pump track and did practice for dual slalom yesterday and didn't feel comfortable coming up from a knee injury, so just honestly wanted to have fun and tick that goal off, and even better to be on the podium, so wrapped as.
Turns out podiums are fun. We're glad to see you back on the bike. Congratulations.
Thanks, heaps. Appreciate it.
Wow, man, that was cool. I feel like we're going to see a lot more of Jessie Smith here. She's not even 100% after that knee. She's already on the podium here in pump track. Maybe we could get her down to Cairns. What do you think?
I think we should, yeah. If this is her, coming back from an injury, I'm really excited to see what she can do as a completely healthy rider out here pushing the limits.
So rad. Look at how got a whole lot more to come too as well. That had some finals vibes to it.
Absolutely,
right there.
I love the stoke. It's like infectious.
So good. All right, I have a feeling we're going to see the bronze medal matchup for the men. Yep. We got Jace Cunning and that man on your screen right now, Bas van Steenbergen. One of them's going to add a bronze medal to their collection from 2023 pump track here in Rotorua. Here we go, Alan.
Let's keep an eye on Baz. He's going to need a perfect start. A little bit of a hesitation, but you can see the intensity that both riders are putting into the track right now. Baz with the slight advantage. Let's see what happens over this last jump. Both riders staying unbelievably close.
There it is, Jace Cunning by just 0.2 of a second after both runs have been combined. Jace Cunning grabs a bronze medal. Bas van Steenbergen adding 4th place points to his overall tally for the season.
It is just black in there.
Man, Bas was fast out of that stall wall right there. It almost seemed like he was going to gap. He's been doing that scrub and connecting to the spine landing and pumping all 3 of those final rollers. Let's see what he did here in this run.
Yeah, Baz with a slight advantage there coming out. It looked like he had about a wheel length.
Yeah, he stayed there.
But the speed was just a little too much for him to make up that deficit, unfortunately. But staying consistent, Baz, looking at that long season, defending that King title, a top 5 in any one of these events is going to keep him definitely in the hunt. And look at the scrub, staying low, making sure he catches that backside.
You got a shot at Bas van Steenbergen in slow motion, I'm watching.
Every time.
I'm simple. I'm simple like that. There we go, bronze medal for Jace Cunning. He's adding that to the collection he's already been building up. He grabbed the gold in pump track in Cairns. I'm sure we will see that Australian back in Cairns. In, what is this, less than 2 months' time? Holy cow. We're in the middle of the Crankworx World Tour 2023 right now, and we got a gold medal matchup for you. Caroline Buchanan going up against Keilani Hines. We looked at the start list. We were hoping that this could possibly happen, and thank you very much.
Yeah, if we were writing the book, this is kind of what we would want to see. Our last 2 riders to win here in the pump track.
All right, look back at run number 1.
Looks like Caroline got a little bit of a hole shot on Keilani, but both riders staying unbelievably close this entire time. Nothing between them coming out of that last turn. Look at this, all the way to the finish. If we didn't have actual laser beams to make sure the timing is right.
Oh, we got to see the time. What is it? Oh,
it's no time. It's no time.
200 of a second.
The winner of this is going to take it most likely, unless it's even closer than the last time.
Who is the underdog here? I mean, Keilani won the last time they matched up, but Caroline's, here we go, we got it.
It's anybody's game. Caroline with an unbelievable start coming out of that. Let's see if she can keep that momentum, catching those backsides. Keilani's going to have a little bit to make up, and Caroline,
that's it,
absolutely accelerating out of that last turn. She knows she's got it.
Wow, what a run there for Caroline Buchanan. She grabs the gold medal. I mean, this is repeat of what we were witnessing just a day ago when she won the Air DH. Caroline Buchanan off to a great start, grabbing those points for the Queen of Crankworx overall. But we got to give it to Keilani Hines, coming back, making it to that final run, grabbing that silver medal.
Yeah, let's watch the start right here. Caroline absolutely smashes this start. Perfect timing out of the gate. And that hop right there and the back tire getting to the backside, she's able to instantly start creating momentum and did it absolutely to perfection all the way through this course. Keilani's start there, just a little bit of a hesitation compared to Caroline. Still keeping her honest all the way to the finish line. Caroline picking up where she left off on the Air DH yesterday and another gold medal. I'm stoked to see both these riders in a final here in this pump track. It doesn't get any better than this, does it, Cam?
I like it, man. I got no complaints right here. This is exactly how I want a pump track race here on the Crankworx World Tour to go. You've got these developing plots between these riders who have history. And the week is far from over here. Caroline Buchanan not only grabbing the gold, but the fastest time of the day. I'm curious to see what that time was. The fastest time last year was a 13.6 for the women.
Yeah, Caroline really doing an amazing job today. You know, not the fastest qualifier, but building throughout the day. That's what it really takes, is being able to build throughout the day. It's not that fastest run, but it's when you do it. And for her to put down her fastest lap, not only her fastest lap of the day, but the fastest lap of the day in the final is amazing.
Caroline picking up where you left off last season. Not a bad couple of days, grabbing the gold in the Air DH just last night, grabbing the gold here today. But I want to talk to you about racing Keilani. What's it like having her back next to you in that start gate?
I love it. At the start of the day, I said, hey girls, see you in the final. And she was like, oh, whatever. But, you know, I think I've had some of my closest battles with Keilani, and it's just so good that she's back. And tonight was an incredible crowd. I think Rotorua always turns it on for the pump track, and that's what makes it special. We want to lift up, we want to increase those times, and it really is the crowd and that momentum, that hype that makes us elevate throughout the day.
Yeah, Caroline, heck of a day, building all day long. I don't know if you know this, but not only did you have the fastest lap on that last race run, but you also have the 4 fastest laps all day. So amazing, amazing job from start to finish.
Thanks so much, guys. I'm just home at Rotorua and can't thank the Millennium Hotel enough for having me.
All right, big question for you. One last one, Caroline. Speed and Style tomorrow. We got a race. Are you going to be in it? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm signed up for everything all week, so I'll be in everything throughout the entire series.
I had a feeling that would be the answer. We'll see it tomorrow. Congratulations on grabbing the gold here in Pump Track. Way to go.
Thank you.
Yep, you haven't seen the last of Caroline Buchanan in this stop 1 of the 2023 Crankworx World Tour. She grabbed the gold medal last night. She grabs another gold medal today. She got some crazy tricks and a whole lot of speed, and that's what the name of the game is for tomorrow's Speed and Style race. We'll see her there, but we still got some hardware to give out for the men, Alan.
We absolutely do. It's still building. So good to see Caroline coming through tonight. You know, she's had a heck of a journey. Missing a couple of years at Crankworx a few years back, coming back, focusing, changing her whole training program. building her entire year around Crankworx and executing tonight here on the pump track. But we're not done, as you said. We have the local boy, Pene Tohoto, looking at Bensink, our world champion here on the pump track. Gold medal round. Almost nothing between them.
You gotta love this right here. 7/100ths of a second behind is a man named Tohoto Ariki Penny. He needs to catch up to the #1 qualifier, Niels Bensink, in order to grab the gold medal here in front of a hometown crowd. The gate is dropped.
Tohoto with amazing starts all night long. Gets the whole shot. He's got the advantage coming around the last turn. Let's see Tohoto. What do you got?
Listen to the crowd.
Running for him.
Go Tohoto.
Gaps off. Messes up a little bit.
What's it gonna be?
Oh,
he's got it. Tohoto Ariki Penny grabs the gold. The crowd goes wild.
I don't know what Tohoto did coming out of that back turn, but he flew off the stall wall and actually overjumped it, but he was so far ahead at that point, there was nothing stopping his momentum.
I can't wait to see that again.
Look at the intensity in this kid's face.
The crowd was nuts.
And right there, all the backside, that momentum.
Watch this. Gap it.
You see his elbows fold as he went into the face of that.
Oh, we're gonna get a real good look at it here.
Look, he's got about a bike length here and launches off. He's trying to catch the backside, but goes a little far and straight into that next one, but it was too late. He had the momentum.
And like a little bit of speed was lost, but he had so much speed come in, I think it like netted out to a gain.
Yeah, it's like he went through that last obstacle rather than getting slowed down by it.
Exactly. Yes, Tohoto. Hey, straight up, gotta say congratulations. And this is what I'm wondering, what's it like hearing the crowd, your hometown crowd, cheer for you so loud in that gold medal matchup?
Oh, it's crack up. You're just sitting on the gate, you can't even hear the gate, you could just hear some of the bros' voices you know, and it's just like, yeah. And,
it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Tohoto, amazing starts all night long. You had the fastest start of the day. But in that last round, coming around that last turn, what did you feel it? Did you feel something happen? Because we saw you absolutely accelerate out of that last turn, which caused you to go a little far over the stall wall, but it was too late. You had the momentum.
Yeah, coming around that last corner, I gave it a bit of a shrug, and I was like, I don't know. I was just like, I don't know, just boosting.
Yeah,
just boosting.
A bit of a super boost out of that last turn. We definitely saw it.
Hey, I think we're on the speakers right now. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Tohoto. Way to go on that gold medal. Oh, yes, that's the best. I love stuff like that. I love people dressed in dinosaur costumes. And I love seeing King of Crankworx overall standings. Why don't you read them?
Yeah, so Baz keeping his consistency there in second place, but we see Mick Hanna with 168 points leading that King of Crankworx. Oh, man. And Tohoto Ariki Pene right there in third, not too far, only 1 point behind Baz. Checking out the women, Cam. Caroline dominating with 224 points. She's got 2 gold medals already in this season. Jenna Hastings, Shania Rawson, Jess Blewett. Nobody's game yet, but Caroline's got a nice start to the season.
Keilani Hines back there, top 5 in the Queen. We're hoping we're going to see her for all 4 stops. This is a stacked season right here. I mean, we got Rotorua kicking things off. We'll be in Cairns in May. We'll be in Innsbruck in June. And then, of course, we'll cap things off in July. The birthplace of it all, Whistler, British Columbia. A look back here at this focus from Tohoto Ariki Pene. Eyes on the prize. He definitely turned it up. When we talk about Pump Track Challenge, we talk about peaking in the finals, and that's exactly what Tohoto did, isn't it?
Yeah, right here. This is what he was talking about. He put a bit of a shroup on it, which means he put every ounce of energy he had into that last turn, just like Caroline did. Coming around for that gold medal.
Tohoto in that interview. Oh, just boosting, man.
Yeah, the calm and casual attitude of the Kiwi rider is just, it's infectious.
That's the best. Good stuff here at the the Pump Track Challenge here presented by Torpedo 7. We got a whole bunch more. We got speed and style tomorrow. We're going to have slalom and slope style on Sunday. Final thoughts from this pump track race.
Man, like I've been saying, these riders building their speed all night. I feel like the momentum of this Crankworx here in Rotorua is building. You know, we've gone through events. It's going to get more exciting as we go. I cannot wait for the next couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, Thanks for joining us here right now. We got plenty more action coming for you the rest of the week. We've been mentioning it, but I'm just going to drive it home one more time. If you like pump track, you like racing, you're probably going to like watching people race side by side while doing tricks. If you're like me, you're going to like that. If you're like Alan, you're going to like that. So you might as well join us tomorrow for the speed and style competition, and then go ahead and join us on Sunday for the slalom and the slope style. I've been Cam McCall. Thank you, Alan Cook, and thank you, viewers. We'll see you tomorrow for Speed and Style.